4 players ready and waiting for this take to come in. Sayonara on the first fight has already lost it. Now the rest of them make their move, and into the blender they go. Everybody on the Fnatic side just waiting for them to make a push.
And it's a risky spot to be in if you get split. You're not really going to get out of there, especially as a Sky. You're popping those flashes, but stacking up the strength on this side of the map. This round seems already done. Very much uphill battle. No time for him to even get close, to be honest. Chronicle will end up dropping a few here. Some orbs to be farmed, but the time gone, the round secured. And for Fnatic, the playbook's already working out in their favor.
Loss of credits will make him suffer into the next. Or if he can do some damage, no. Immediately down.
Bastion of hope for Vitality. But really in this round, with decent investments, damage is all they're looking for. It's actually the weaker weapon of the lot, the lowest of HP on Sayonara, and he's the one to take a kill. But how much more can they get? How much more damage can they apply to Fnatic? Alfier's making sure it's next to none. And a closer from Kayak, just a shot away. There it is, a 2-0 start for Fnatic. Convincingly at that, the game plan on the pistol, rotations, no panic, and now they dominate in the fights.
Sitting, both sitting.
A big part of this map. Good sees as the orb goes down, and they'll get a pick off of it. Really nice utility and great timing. Yeah, I mean, he is surrounded, and it looks like dropping in to help was Vakash, but he'll get nothing done. The leader of Vitality, certainly leading in the kill department in this one. He's taken every single player that's on the floor.
Vitality players going exploring is going to be the bait, trying to give an opportunity to Kayak. Sometimes an opportunity is all he needs. 2 quick kills, leaving it down to him versus Derke. Bear in mind, Derke doesn't have a rifle to play with. He's got a stick on those closer angles. He was seen throwing guns out of the map, but a judge from that range will finish the job.
And here's the rifles for Fnatic. The full buy and full aggression from Derke. He's ran it down, and he's not stopping anytime soon. Already in their spawn when the ult comes out, the up close in danger. And although the Sky Flash hits, Derke hits harder. The 3-piece, and the round in tatters with only Boaster left.
Playing this close by, it's almost just a contact play, and the contact is enough. But the story of this round, yeah.
That Outlaw gonna be a big danger. Derke, well, he keeps on going. There's the opening. They might not expect Boaster to be this close.
Sight.
Fnatic's leader, the leader of a lot of these players in the past, but Derke, well, he puts his old boss to bed. A plant found by Vitality, and the way back in now looking a lot more difficult for, well, impossible. An ace on the cards for Derke. He's looking for it, but Prophet gets ahead of the action. 5 on the board, 5 in a row. It's a hell of a showing from him so far.
Going in first.
He's been going in alone at times with a judge. And again, alone, he rides into that sunset. Oh my goodness, he got so close to Alpha. Dropped him down to 30, Showstoppers traded out, but it's all Fnatic in the kill feed. Finding a double, stopping the push. And that's about as well as that could have went, especially with a Showstopper fired back in the other direction. He went for the heal. Instead, he's met the steal of the Outlaw, but only one. That's all Vitality have to work with. Even as Prophet TP's to side. No, Spike! What a shot! But he's got a player wrapping around his side, and Crashies holds tight on the angle.
Much closer to A. Still 2 players going to be here. Alfia making his way back. Crashies has done well at the start, but there's still Kayak on this close entry. But they've gone a different way. They've gone past him, and Chronicle is expecting somebody to be within this. Currently, though, nobody defending, protecting the man on the spike. But they'll get the work done. Chronicle eventually, that backstab.
A risky move, taking your low HP to virtually none, and, well, Boaster, an easy target, and so too will Vakash be. They walk into the pit, but they will not be walking out. 6-3. How much space do you want to push into, knowing that your opponents are on pistols? They're likely grouped up. And them taking you down as a free weapon back in their hands. Swapping positions, though Vitality using this deep space towards screens. An extra control would be nice.
Okay,
who
well,
can stop
already
this?
off. Swing out from Derke will deny. Alfia and Vakash, though, are holding the line. Prophet now from above. They could just take him out. Vakash is going to land it. They had the idea to reclaim control, but instead...
It's a shotgun.
It's a completely different look. With util being set up, I think that was just the counter to Vakash. Like, we've seen that a few times where he's just waiting to fire that snake button, basically to deny the judge.
Forced if they wait a little bit longer, but Vitality getting ahead of it, already diving onto the site, dealing with Boaster. Alpha to be found on the back, but he lands one and a second. Holding his ground as backup arrives, swinging in for more. Alpha's hungry, and he was eating good for a moment. Kayak, oh, what a correction! He's found him. The planto from Profek pressured up close, and he'll be dealt with too. Wonderful round from Fnatic.
Oh, wonderful round from Alpha, yeah. Sure, he had some supportive utility to help him out along the way, but these are the moments that he has been bringing throughout kickoff, throughout the first game of stage 1.
Profek has no boots on the ground. He's isolated. Now when they burst through, there's a showstopper. There's Boaster stalling and stopping the show. Our Fnatic with 6-6 on the scoreboard, looking much better at the end of the half.
Idea that he feels like Fnatic needs to win this one.
Toxins going up.
For both sides, I think that holds true. D play from Kayak and a double in the pistol, asserting his dominance with his wall up and a play in towards heaven. They have to back out on that defensive side. Vitality conceding the space, but they look to quickly get back in, and they're sent right out.
Spotted. Like there's any chance here, and he's going to end up being closed out. An in-zone flawless for Fnatic.
Toxin screen down.
Comes the pistols. The right click, well, they're getting a lot more opportunities than I think it should. That was a lackluster fight from the Rays indeed. Oh my goodness. Sayonara right on the Kayak. Damage done already. It was the low HP player, the one caught up by the spam. But now with the Bucky close, this could become a costly round if much more is found. One we can accept, but now clearing that Bucky on 1 HP. Needs to get a bit closer for that one-shot headshot. Now within the 10 meters, the bandit can be so dangerous, but not a shot fired before he's put in the ground. 8-6, and Fnatic, well, another strong start in the early half of this situation.
I have ulti, chill.
There's 100 neon.
Give me Sana,
Nothing,
I have a single.
ramp. I'm gonna flash out spawn.
Out, elbow.
I got spammed. One after.
Now the old bottom time, it's ticking away, and the numbers on Vitality falling. Well handled here from the attack side. Good calls from Alpha. And the pumping of the brakes has somehow gotten them to the finish line. Well done, 9-6 now. And after Vitality clawing back into the game, getting into the lead. It probably looks bad on the stats because you'll just see ults fired versus kills. But in the end, the value found here is much higher indeed. Fnatic come into this round with a huge advantage, leveraged here by Vakash to get an easy double opener against the pistols. Man who was dogging is the one going for the plant, but he'll grab himself an orb along the way. And while they delay, Vakash is lighting up targets downrange.
One enemy remaining.
Dying to the spike might not necessarily be a bad thing. Picked up a Sheriff. Gonna get
What
any
a
kills from
teammate.
it? No, he can't. And as you said,
It's a move. Paranoia is being lined up as we speak. It's going to be fired in by Profek with a dive from Derke. Nicely done. And they don't keep pushing either. They don't give Fnatic the chance to snatch back those kills.
they have started to telegraph the play in, and even a correction from Chronicle. There's the guy we know and love. The operator, not something we've seen from him just yet.
Okay.
Has worked out wonderfully. I mean, we mentioned that.
Right after, Vakash for one of the biggest clutches we've seen from him. He'll do well with the first, but that's all she wrote. There was a big mid push from Vitality filling in this space. It's all down to if they're looking in the right direction, and of course Kron was holding it.
Well, the worry as well, a faster execution. They're going to go straight into that operator, but also a potential showstopper. I don't think they're going to need it. And a fadeaway shot from Sayonara. But there's so much more to come. Again, the paranoia is held into the late round. Again, the stuns are coming his way. And again, the trade is immediate.
One round behind, momentum there for Vitality. Challenge though for Profek, in they come. Paranoia's good, and so is the judge. He's got backup too, and there's no chance for Kayak. He thought he could pressure Profek, but no. With all his friends close by, Boaster, a double. He's got more on the cards. Vakash to finish off the dinner, and now
Move Derke and where he stands. Teammate trying to cover him off, but there goes the judge, there goes Young People. Now it is left all onto Derke.
Down B.
Gonna try and just get back potentially to a rifle, or even just sell the seeds of doubt. And he's slowly piecing it together, slowly looking around those different positions, and now knows exactly where he is. But I believe that is a
10
rifle
seconds left.
potentially picked up. No, now he's got a gun in his hand. Timing is going to be everything. He will get the planting, but is trapped in the corner. The shot needs to be landed by Boaster. Derke just spamming away, and eventually he gets the job done.
Diop, the danger, lurking in the shadows and now set to strike, but, well, he's revealed his hand. They've taken Chronicle in a spam through the orb. I would normally say with the judge, I don't know how much he can get done, but I've seen how much he can get done. This is still a dangerous round.
Oh, he's managed to deny the showstopper. Nightfall utilized by Yumpy. And Sayonara has used the showstopper as well. They're trying to pad the gap with the ults, but the gap can't be padded. It is around still the way of Fnatic. It got dicey for a second, but they hold on.
Have played them, and it's only going to be Yumpy who stands in their way. The slide from Kayak deals with him. And Vikash out of the pit, just looking for the decay. Okay, they actually managed to deal with him for the defense, but time is an issue. And with Alpha where he is, he could end the round all by himself.
Last player standing.
Running through the Cosmic Divide will be enough for the round to go the way of Kayak. Gonna do a little bit of damage, but he gets domed! Alpha, yes, sits him down. Derke has been able to respond.
30 seconds.
Chronicle.
That flank is going to end the round. They just have to hold the line, and Derke's done so much damage. Chronicle cleans up, and another round for Vitality. The game not over yet. Ron slips out just as they round the corner, but the healed Kayak ready for the fight. Draws first blood.
Time once more is ticking. And Derke has gone down. It's going to be left on Yumpy. It's been a quiet game for him so far individually. They're going to need him to stand tall. First comes easy. The rest are going to be a bit more difficult. It's awkward, but he's done well. At least manages to take two. This gives time for Sayonara, but he gets done trying to get past it. But close it. It is a close first map of split. But Fnatic in the end, they'll get the job done.
Players already bursting out of main. The rest will follow shortly. But his reinforcements are arriving, and they are thriving from the side. Vikash and Kayak with two.
Expectation is to go back the other way. A firing squad waiting, but a firing squad that loses both fights.
The danger zone. And some of these fights, especially against that Sheriff, but, well, they've got some low HP players on the other side. Veal gonna get so much information. Oh, in fact, only catches the one up close, but they'll find the second round the side, or the second will find them. Boaster's done wonderful work in getting inside that cove. It has to be done now! And it comes down to a split second. But Fnatic, the ones to find that defuse just a millisecond early. A late play through mid now has so much more value. Oh! I'm thinking he can sneak up, get close to Boaster, catch him off guard, but spam him with the stinger. That was not on my list. Vikash, 1v3. But now Fnatic are coming to blitz through the elbow. 4 players, and Kron on a safe distance. Rifles to play with, arguably better armed than their opponents, but Derke standing on a podium and will accept nothing but first place in this round. They go in, look into the skies, and
give him a little bit of help. He's done some tickle damage, but of course the most of that is decay. And Chronicle still surviving a double kill with the shock dart instead. And now they're being caught by the remainder. Even still, it feels like Crashies has a chance. Flash out though makes it impossible. Both peaking at the same time. Both are under pressure. We saw this in their last game as well. They're sometimes caught with util, but not this time.
Get on, Astra.
The util has worked wonderfully. The run through gives perfect.
The knife revealing the position. Oh, doesn't even get the first shot off there as Alpha baits him back and forth in the fight, and a triple swing closes it. You ain't seeing a damn thing. Plunged into the depths, and while Boaster tries to respond, it's a bit of a misread on the pace of the round. Derke had already dashed in, taken deep control. Kayak behind the wall, wasn't seen. They think the space is clear, and now he'll step in and catch himself a double. It's a small gap from Vitality, but oh, a gap on the other side exploited. Well handled. Chronicle manages to find himself one, and they keep these trades back and forth. The time ticking for Fnatic to get on that spike, and there's a snake in the grass. Their backlines being threatened as Kron wraps all the way around. They'll go to check it. Crashies casting an eye in that direction, but Vikash falls in the meantime, and he is soon to follow. 4-2.
Front while he looks away. It's just lovely timing. But then you see the response from Vitality again. Derke on point, very aggressive. And while the trade's just about in favor.
The heat dialing up, but now Fnatic have got all their players bunkered down on the back of this site. 2 fall, but still 1 standing. And Alpha brings this down to a 1v2. Chronicle on 15 HP. And with the pit in play, this could very easily become an awkward round. It's a wonderful shot from Alpha. Ready and waiting for that final swing. He's caught Yumpy in the open, but the shots, they do not land for Fnatic.
He'll take that utility away, and Prophet's trying to get ahead of them, but Kayak just too quick on the trigger. With the Cove in the way, the second he starts spamming, they're going to be back on that defuse. There is not really anything he can do from this point. 3 bullets left. Boaster already pushing him. And the man that stood in for them for a moment.
Around and not being able to connect anything afterwards. Yeah, I think that mostly it's not even been close on the back of it, but that is the start they needed. Crashes has so much info on B. There's 4 players A because they know the hit cannot come in on the other side of the map. So as they march in hoping to catch a few players off guard, except for that man who's waiting behind them and strikes the final blow. An in-zone flawless from Fnatic. Result speaks for itself. Dodging the reveal. Kayak smartly played. He knows his distances. Oh no, the shot dart didn't land, and now they're up close. They're looking to force the issue. Fnatic are all here though. They've backed off, they've given them the space, and now they'll give them the steal. Very well done, Yumpy.
They're now running past. They don't realize there's still a man behind them, but they've dealt with one. He's got to be careful, though, that there isn't another player behind, which there is, but he's managed to get past him. So many targets for him to try and face off against. Spike dropped, but more needed and more delivered. Kayak going the extra.
Pit goes down, Crawling closing in the distance, but that doesn't cover the spike. He'll still have to step out to get towards it, and he can't spam, has to step into the bubble. Boaster showing him that he's got it to happen. He's gonna stick it right under his nose. Bravado from the big boss, Boaster. Sure, he will fall, but Fnatic find the lead as a result.
Foolish on that stage.
Boaster's having a hell of a game so far. Fnatic bringing Vitality right to hell as the new residents. It's 6-5, but 7 could be on the board any moment now. Derke and Sayonara, all that stand in their way. And now just down to Sayo, surrounded, outnumbered, and dealt with. It's 7-5. Fnatic slow to start, but by God, they got there in the end.
Giving him so much space, he's watching for that rotation, wins the fight versus Derke, no support is coming, the cavalry was called for, and there is no cavalry to be found. They have tripped on their way to the site in what Vitality put out. And okay, there's one gap back the other way, that's at least a pick, but there's so much more needed from Prophet. He needs to fight all of them at once, and it's just not gonna happen.
I was going to say, you're counting out Yumpy so soon, but
yes,
it wasn't that soon. Seconds later, the round's over. 8-5 for Fnatic. It will very much hammer a nail into the coffin of Vitality. This is going to start to smother them out of the early, or out of the game.
No. Vitality have got 2 players low, 4 players in the right place at the right time. Alfie has now been dealt with as well. He was one of the healthier players, and Sayonara has come up with a quick double. They look to walk up, only connecting onto one player, so the other's still a relative unknown. That's one of them. Into Boaster again, the same battle as before, the same fight versus 2 players that have that history together. The swing out doesn't quite connect anything, and the time's starting to work in favor of Boaster. He's just playing games with his opponent, but this time Chronicle comes out on top. It is a second round victory in both halves from Vitality.
Down to the pistols themselves. Now making this work would possibly cause another crash out on my behalf, but it is the rifle to lead the way. Derke on the high angle. The flash is going to blind him. Position back up, walled off as well. Pressure on for Derke to deliver, and he'll get nothing. Another rifle on the floor to be retrieved for Fnatic on pistols themselves. I don't believe what I'm witnessing, but they're trading it out, keeping the advantages in play for the attack side. Chronicle stepping forward. It's only a classic that meets him, but he catches him just before he falls, but left on 21 HP against 2 rifles, Alpha and Vekaj to face off against him. It would be another clutch for Chronicle, another big round, but it's not to be. Alpha here climbing back to his peak. He knows where you are now. This is dangerous.
I know, that's the thing though, he's just waiting. This has been a lot of what we've seen from Fnatic. Is he going to trade him? Oh, it's very close. And martyrdom shocked up. Vekaj should get the kill in the end anyway. Makes no difference. Gun not kept. Chronicle at least has a Viper's Pit online, and Flash going through on both sides. And a little bit of tickle damage done. In fact, Vekaj has been eliminated, but the later the round gets, the more effective Youngki becomes. Crashies becomes. He's sitting all the way back, making sure he can't be caught, but even still the spams are working, and now comes that Hunter's Fury. He has to try and do it all. Two players were desperately low, but he didn't realize it. Instead, he's going to go swinging. He will have to check to see if they're defusing, and this time Sayonara holds the line.
On the fly adjustments. And a battle brewing in mid, but it's on the A side. The Fnatic find success. Chronicle's already down. Hunter's Fury sent through. Good tag, and the follow-up doesn't seem to be there. They've lost Alpha here. Now the Vitality can fully focus on the side. A big fight coming, but Derke goes down. Shock Dart's the one to trade it out, and Fnatic want to walk up, press deep towards that left side, but Sayonara wrapping around, only caught by Kayak after he draws blood, but Kayak keeps on going. This Vitality retake and leaving Yumpy in a tough spot. They are just confirming, that he's not on the spike, but the re-peek from Boaster is bold! But Kayak delivers the final blow. 11 rounds on the board. They gave him a chance there, but just as quick, they took it away.
Well, Derke without a gun, but he does have the blades. That's not a bad start to the round. Only down to a singular knife, and they managed to deal with both. Sayonara will keep the advantage in Vitality's favor for now. And the site under their control. The only thing I will say, it might not be worth it in this scenario, especially now that we've seen that shot connected by Chronicle, but also with the other utility available. A quick round, a round that goes in Vitality's favor, looking like Fnatic tried to just run it down to close.
Information, but they don't want to get overwhelmed here. That's the key to success on the defense.
They almost don't want to post plant, because I was going to say they've got a couple of Buckies and they have a Viper's Pit. Like, a post plant here would actually be quite scary.
Very good point.
Of damage. It's an awkward battle within this pit, but the Buckies going to become more threatening by the second. Can they do enough? And Alfia's still here. He's still hiding. He still has a snake bite. That will buy even more time off the clock. Another one comes up and it's left all onto Crashies. And although you'll see a couple of 1 HPs, it's close, but it's not close enough.
Yeah, I think really close. We missed it, but Alpha jumping out of the pit.
But unfortunately, it's onto a player that can be brought back, trying to bait them in to go for the fight, and they have done. Chronicle down, Vekaj back.
Hunter's Fury got from the plant, but again, we're running out of ultimates. Luckily, Boaster still has his to work with. Another great shock dart in from Sayonara, and a trade out up close. Derke's operator shotgun pays dividends. Good flash, and Prophet capitalizes with a pick. Shock dart sent through again. This time it's on Fnatic's side. They find the pick, and Crashies connects the shots right after. One after another, 12-9 we go. Boaster's the one opening it. That's Derke down as well. What a head-to-head to kick off what could be the last round. In trouble with this A-side hold. If they lose Prophet on the peak, and Crashies will strike from that corner. Now backup is arriving, and although Crashies falls, the numbers, they don't fall unless Chronicle goes huge! A three-piece, Boaster tagged as well, and Sayo the one to drop him. It is not over yet. Not unless Alpha's got another big play, but he meets Gron. The Battle of the Vipers swings to the defenders, and again, he's on his feet. Ability down to slow them. A wonderful KO knife, but instead Derke, he tries to slip through, but again, Boaster wins that head-to-head. And now the snake bite from Alpha with a little tickle up from Crashies puts us in the advantage for Fnatic. On the line, and Sayonara stepping in early into the den of Fnatic, and he'll find one. The stun good, the shock better, and Sayo stands deep into the round. When he falls, he's given them a chance, a spark of hope, but they need to fan that into a flame, and Alpha is putting them out, snuffing out the light from Vitality's hope. And Yumpy, the leader.
My ult's ready.
And he's got Alpha and He's only got Crashies now to deal with. Hold on. There is still a chance. Needs to get this to half or at least win that fight on the jump. It's all down to Crash. He's buying time, running the clock lower and landing the final blow. History repeats itself for Fnatic. Never to lose a series against Vitality.